Good morning, everyone. Normally, I would have run on the stage, but I really can't run on the stage today, so I have to hobble on. So my name is Rolinda McCarthy. I'm one of the clinical therapists at the Behavioral Health Unit here at the Babel Plaza. And I have Taylor Perry and Ms. Davika in the back. We're going to share some time with you today. And we're going to talk about a really interesting topic, okay? And I'm going to be real with you today. So I'm going to be real candid. I'm going to be very straightforward, right? So we're going to talk. Are you guys ready to talk? No? Why you ain't ready to talk? All right. But you going to talk. We're going to talk. So we're here at CAHS today to talk to peers around having a good conversation with other individuals when it comes to feelings, when it comes to understanding how they can support the other individual if they're having thoughts of suicide, right? Suicidal thoughts, thoughts of hurting themselves. They are the first line of defense, I believe, that helps with this particular problem. It's friends talking to friends and then reaching out and getting help so that that person changes their thought process. So today we're going to talk a little bit about emotions and how those emotions lead into certain thoughts, maybe some actions, right? So how many of you have heard the word suicide? Okay. So tell me a little bit of what you know about the word suicide. Miss Pink Bow. Come on. Don't be shy. Go ahead. She says it's something that builds up and somebody takes their own life. Go ahead, tell me. You gonna say the same thing? Okay, who else? All right, in the back, tell me. Tell me. Okay, anybody else? So what's the one thing that you guys just said? Build up. When somebody has a lot they're taking on and they take their life. But there's one key component. You see everybody in this room right now. Each one of you sitting next to each other, knowing each other, maybe not knowing each other. You guys are one of the amazing tools that can be used in the prevention of suicide. Do you understand what I'm saying? When you see your friends, you know your friends better than maybe even their own parents because they tell you all the secrets. They tell you when they're hurting. They tell you when they're angry. They tell you mostly everything, right? You know your girlfriend, your guy friend. Y'all talk a whole lot, share a whole lot. And sharing helps as well. It helps your friend when you see your friend having certain issues. So we're going to jump in today. We're going to talk a little bit about how you, as a friend, as a colleague, as just walking by and seeing somebody having some problems, how you can be part of that solution as a pair in the role of suicide prevention, okay? Next. In this presentation, we'll have a couple of goals. We're going to recognize when a friend is in trouble, know what we can do to help, and know where to find the help, okay? How many people know some signs of somebody having a problem? Go ahead. I can't hear you. A change in their mood. What else? Come on, guys. What else? Go ahead. Bags, they're not sleeping, right? Okay, what else? Go ahead. They're not taking care of themselves. Hygiene, that's a good one. What else? Who else? Oh, go ahead. I can't hear you. Giving away personal items. Okay, you guys are real smart. All right, okay. All right, so those are some of the things. So knowing when and where to give help, okay? Next. On an average, these are just statistics. on an average, more than 20% of teens have seriously considered suicide, right? Most alarming trend in recent years is the sharp rise of suicide among black youths between the ages of 10 to 24. Are you guys in that age group? Right? The CDC looks at mental health and suicide behavior between the years of 2011 to 2021, showing a 13% of high school girls thinking about suicide. And then in the LGBTQ community, 45%. In a peer social network, many suicidal youths will go to peers for help, right? How many times have your girlfriend goes, you know, I don't feel too good right now. I'm hurting. What's your name? I can't hear you. Weldo? Weldo just tell me he don't want to talk to me. He tell me he don't want to have nothing to do with me. And you know I like him, right? What am I supposed to do? Help him. Well, he's all right? So what are you supposed to do as her friend? Huh? Communicate. I like that. So one of the most important things about being in the moment is being respectful, right? A lot of times when our friends come to talk to us, we start laughing. You ain't talking nothing really important. You really like him? What about him you like? Girl, go on, move on, right? Or my mom just told me something this evening that my dad ain't coming home, right? Right? No? Or we have to move up from the house we've been living in for the past 5 years. And we got to live with our grandmother now. She only got 1 bedroom. What am I going to do? Right? So it's a lot of things that happen. Tell me some other reasons why young people get upset. Who else? Go ahead. Yeah? Don't mind? You don't know why you get upset? Okay, go ahead. Go ahead. Bullying. What else? When a family member dies. What else? Say that again. Peer pressure. Yes. Wanting to fit in. Wanting to have an identity outside of your own. Wanting to be able to say that people look at me and say I belong. Right? Those are really critical pieces that a lot of us struggle with on a daily basis. Go ahead. So everyone has stress and problems. Some people have depression and other mental health issues. Few people think about suicide. Ever fewer people attempt suicide. Fewer people die. What does that mean? It means that every individual has that moment when they say, what if? Who's thought about what if? What if? What if I didn't wake up this morning? What if I don't have to worry about problems today? What if I don't have to do a test? Right? My grades have been awful. If I take this other test, I'm going to be done. Who's thought about that? Right? I've been talking to my friends since the elementary school. They've gotten to high school, and now they ain't want to talk to me. Right? They don't want to have anything to do with me because they found new friends. They might be starting to talk to guys in the junior grade, 11th grade or 10th grade. I'm in the 9th grade. I think I'm grown. And then he stops talking to me. And then all my friends looking at me like, I told you. You thought you were all that, didn't you? How many times that has happened? Okay. Right? Or, who's from which neighborhood? Who's from what area? Right? I from Iraq Valley. Where you rock? Huh? Okay. All right. So all of these things play a factor. So when you come to school, the expectation is that you're supposed to leave that outside the gate. But does that really happen? It doesn't happen, right? Okay. So you start resenting, hating, talking about people, and you don't know how that affects that person. You don't know. It could be that now their self-esteem has gone down to the ground. I do believe that a lot of individuals believe that if you don't have that conversation, it prevents suicide. But it does not, right? The more we're more candid about it, the more we talk about it, children understand, young people, even from elementary all the way up, understand that it doesn't have that stigma of I can't say anything and it stays in the shadows. It's this thing of having this open conversation where individuals can talk about how they're feeling, to redirect their feelings, knowing that they're not just caught up in just themselves. Everybody has these feelings and they could talk a little bit about it, share about it, and then kind of step away from those thoughts of hurting themselves. Who can tell me what stress is? Tell me what stress is. School is stress. That's one. What else? Parents. What else? Girls. Wow. Okay. What else? Huh? Okay. What else? Go ahead. Your friend is a stressor? Okay. Go ahead. Girlfriends? Uh-huh. What else? Losing money? What? You're right though. I'd be stressed about losing money too. Huh? Schoolwork. Yes, that is true. So you guys gave a whole lot of examples. Who has the cups? Raise the cups. Raise the cups. So each one of you guys that have a cup, you see how many stresses are in the room? Huh? Raise those cups really high. Let me see those cups. You see how many stresses are in the room? Each cup represents a stressor. Homework, parents, moving out, girlfriend, boyfriend, not fitting in with my friends, not being from the same area, not having the right uniform on, not having the right backpack. What's the backpack for this year? So if you ain't have the right backpack, what happens? You broke. You see what I'm saying? And how many of you guys say, okay, you broke because you can't have that backpack? How you think that other person feels? How you think they feel? Do you think that hurts that person feeling? Because they can't control what their parents give them, especially if they're not working. They could only get what their parents give them, right? Should you not be their friend? Should you not encourage them? A lot of young people have had this fear that if they open and they have these conversations, that people are going to change how they look about them, see them, change how they interact with them, might get in trouble with their parents. Because even all parents within the territory have a big issue around talking about suicide, right? And I think it's within the Black community on a whole, right? Just having this level of thinking that suicidal ideations is a deficiency and we don't have the time for it, that kind of takes away from people wanting to help, having the opportunity to help, right? And I believe that this is our time to have this real conversation. I've been having it for quite a while. We're going to be having really good conversations at Ken and at Lockhart in the next week. And I'm hoping coming out of Suicide Prevention Month in September that we could keep carrying that message through the rest of the year. How about depression, the big D? Go ahead. Bullying, that brings on depression. But I want you to tell me what depression is. Not what the cause of depression. What's depression? What's the word? What does depression mean? Say it again. Lack of self-esteem. Okay. Sadness. Holding on to problems. Yeah. I can't hear you. Mood changes. Okay. A lot of people describe depression like a blanket. It comes over you like a wet blanket. Sometimes you can't control it. Sometimes people say that they feel like they're looking out from behind that blanket and not really feeling who they are. It feels like an extra pressure. It feels like extra weight. Any of you guys have felt that? No? I like that. Right? Feeling like you don't have all the answers, but you're supposed to have all the answers. Right? Feeling that knot in your chest, that bubble in your stomach when you walk into a room and you can't even change the situation. Right? Okay. So, signs of depression. I heard irritability, changing in eating habits, physical complaints, poor school performance, moodiness, hopelessness, withdrawal, substance use. How many guys have been introduced to marijuana? It's okay. This is a safe space. Come on. It's a safe space. Okay. Okay. Introducing doesn't mean that you used it. You just got introduced to it. All right? So a lot of individuals have used it as a way to get away. Step out of the madness in the day-to-day functionalities, but it doesn't mean that that's right. Because you should always be able to manage and support your own emotions without any addition. Right? When we think about our friends, when we think about who is supposed to help support us, it's one of you, right? Because you are the one that they talk to the most. They sit and have conversations. They share pertinent information or personal information. So they said some really important things. One, about depression. What are some of the things that they identified about somebody who's having depression? Self-injury. What else? Skipping school, weight gain or loss, changing habits, right? So when you think about your friends that you talk to on a daily basis, have you seen any of those situations happening? Right? Because you are going to identify it faster than anybody else because you are spending how many hours with them on a daily basis? Right? So some of the ways that you can talk to that person, reach out to that person that you're seeing having these issues, it's find a place that you can really talk. So it's not going to be in the middle of the lunchroom when everybody's yelling and screaming, right? It's not going to be in the middle of the classroom when your teacher is saying you can't talk in class. It's as those moments when you get a little break. When you say, can I come talk to you for a couple of minutes at this specific time, right? Get an outside opinion, right? Because we don't really have all the answers. I don't even have all the answers, right? So if you feel that your friend, like, I don't know how to talk to her, talk to somebody and say, listen, I want to help my friend. How can I help my friend, right? Learn new coping skills. Anybody knows about the breathing method? Anybody? Tell me a little bit about what you think it is. You breathe in, you hold, you breathe out. So it's breathing in for 4, holding for 7, breathing out for 8. And that kind of helps release stress, make you rethink what's going on. It helps release endorphins that calms you down, right? So everybody, I want us to breathe in for 4. Let's go. Hold, 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 hold. Let out. One more time. Breathe in. Hold, hold, hold. Hold, hold. Hold, hold. Out. How that made you feel? It made you feel the same? Then you ain't did it right. Just kidding. Sometimes it affects others a different way. How many people felt really kind of calm? after you did it. That's what it's supposed to do. But if you're in an environment where you're worried about people looking and seeing, it's not going to have the same effect. But when you're at home this evening, I want you to take the time, just after you finish eating, doing your homework, kind of sit in your room, relax for a minute, breathe in for 4, hold for 7, breathe out for 8. And then think about how you felt after that, okay? So how many people do you think are vulnerable? So these are some of the categories that the CDC has identified. So people that are dealing with depression or anxiety, a certain particular young people group, boys and men, people that are using alcohol or drugs, individuals coming from an immigrant population, people are experiencing abuse or trauma, right? So these are just specific areas. And when we think about where St. Thomas is, how many of these could you identify that belong to us? Okay, I'll accept the second one. All right. All right. Go ahead. The fourth one, right. So we are in an area where a lot of these things are identified that can cause what? There you go. All right. So it's about ongoing stress, bullying, abuse, death. Who said that earlier? Death. Okay. Breakups. You know, parents and adults might not think that your first boyfriend or your first girlfriend is a really important factor because you're supposed to have other experiences later on, but you're not worried about that. You're worried about right now, right this moment, right? And that person was most important to you, right? That was a person that identified you as a different person, that you could care about yourself and they could care about you, right? Right? Right. Oh, y'all going on like y'all, none of y'all had first boyfriends and girlfriends. Okay, all right. Family conflict. How many of you guys hear your parents or your aunts and your grandmother or somebody home, they cussing, right? Using a big S word, using a big F word. Is an ongoing thing, right? You normalized it. It's regular for you. But then when you come to a place where you are supposed to feel different, know different, because that's supposed to be a safe space for you. You shouldn't have to be at the height of your anxiety level at home because that's supposed to be safe. So when you're coming to school and adding more stress onto that, what happens then? It gets worse, right? Can't really study, and then you go back home and you get an F, and then it escalates even more, right? As parents, we have to be able to know how to love our child outside of just discipline, right? So it's seeing the changes in their moods, locking themselves in the bedroom, not really eating the way they used to, not being engaged in activities that they used to last month. But these are symptoms that happen over the last 2 weeks of the child's life. This is kind of like the target area. So if you're as a parent, if you're seeing drastic changes in your child behavior that pushes over a 2-week period, sit down, have a conversation, take them out, have a day with them, just that day with that child that says, I love you, can we talk? What's going on? How can I help you? Right? A hug. Just that moment. We have to get out of, I know we have to work, I know we have to make money, I know a lot of us are having more than one job, but we have to have those one-on-one moments with our children so that their impact lasts. So there are some facts, feelings, actions, changes, threats, situations. So it's about the feeling, sad, lonely. It's about the action, pushing your friends and your family away. Changes in school performance, appearance, hygiene. We said that. Saying things like, I don't want to be here. I'm going to say goodbye. I feel like killing myself. Right? And then triggers, right? You feel like you are all right, everything is going good, and then that person, that thing, that place, that smell brings you right back to that pain again. And then it's so much pain that you don't want to deal with it at that moment, and then what? No, a lot of times. So what I've realized that individuals within your age group, you think about it more. You don't necessarily conduct the act, but you have a lot of suicidal thoughts. I don't want to be here. I don't feel like being here. What if I wasn't here? They will never miss me. I'll make the problem better if I wasn't here. Right? All of those thoughts go through. So, intervention steps. As a pair person, right? Your friend. Show you care, right? Really reach out. Taylor, I really want to talk to you. Are you okay? Ask the questions. What's going on? What are you really thinking about right now? Okay? And then call for help, right? Because we understand that we might be able to have that conversation, but that conversation needs to go a little bit more than just having the conversation, right? That's when you start to bring somebody else in, like myself, like the principal, like your teachers, like your guidance counselor, an adult that you really trust that will have your back, right? How many people could identify an adult that can have their back? Who? Go ahead. Yeah. Your mom. Who else? Your aunt. Okay, who else? Go ahead. Your dad. Okay, who else? Yes, that's a good one too. Yeah, I get you. Right? So it's about making sure that you are connected to an adult or someone that can have a conversation about what's going on. So show you care, be a good friend, assess the danger, educate yourself. Sometimes it's like, I feel my friend is having all these things. Let me look up a little bit. How many of you guys are on the phone like 8 hours a day? 16 hours, oh my gosh. So you could use those devices to do something more than just, what's your social medias? So I want you guys to all use YouTube. No. So I want you guys to also use those devices to get better knowledgeable around how could I help a friend that's in need. Okay? So what to do? Say it again. I can't hear you. All right. What else? Whole lot of you up in here, and I know you can make more noise than this. What it say? All right, next one. Get help. All right. So I'm concerned about you because I want to help. Those are some of the open questions you can use. Are you thinking about suicide? A lot of people believe that if you don't say the S word, it will not happen, which is not true. If you're more candid about what you're saying, if you're more straightforward about what you're saying, it has a tendency to make people think about it a little bit more and say, I really, there's a big difference between not wanting to be here and dying. Okay? Do not leave this person alone. So you could tag team with another friend. I need you to come with me. I'm going to go find somebody. I need you to sit here with him or her. All right? And these are some of the hotlines, but one of the ones that I really want you to consider is 988. Repeat after me. 988. Say it again. 988. Say it again. 988. So 988 is the national hotline that you can, if you're having issues, you can call yourself. If you need help trying to ask how to talk to a friend, you can call them as well, right? So it's a twofer. Right? So you can talk for yourself, or you can bring your friend and says, listen, I'm giving you this phone. I need you to talk to this person. They don't know who you are. All they're going to do is talk to you and try to help you out through your situation. Okay? So I hope this morning you guys got some really good information today, right? I want you to be able to have a great conversation with anyone that you see that's having some issues, having some problems based on what we identified today. Because you might be the only person that's going to be able to help them back from where they are right now. So I really appreciate you guys taking the time, having a conversation with me, interacting, and I hope that each one of you got something from this presentation today. All right? So give you guys selves a hand. And thank you so very, very, very much. We have an opportunity to reach our young people, to change the mindset about how emotions affect who we are as individuals, and it's our opportunity to always reach out, always have these open conversations. Make sure that we tell everyone that mental health is not something that we have to push under the bed or push under the rug. It's something that can be spoken about out in the open and dispel all the stigmas that come with mental health. The behavioral health unit is at the Babel Plaza location. Our number is 340-774-7700. And you can call, anyone can come in there between the hours of 8 through 5, Monday through Friday. If you're having a concern, just come down. We have very talented clinicians that are down there waiting to help you.